Hello and welcome along to another JA Karting video. We are back at Three Sisters Circuit in Wigan for the second round of their Winter Sprint series. This is the second heat of the day, so it's our reverse grid. We qualified fourth for the first race, so we're starting four from the back in this race, and reverse grids are always fun and somewhat chaotic, so away we go. And we're hoping, and we get the Moses effect. The Red Sea parts and we get a few positions straight off the bat. A bit of chaos and a bit of bumping and knocking together, but we come away from the first couple of corners in third. So we're already set up really nicely from a position towards the back. And now what we're trying to do is chase down the front two. So we go a little bit wide there and lose a bit of traction. It's a really wet and slippy day at the track this weekend, and grip was a bit weird in places, very different to normal. And as you can see, we kind of come off the top of the Conrad straight. We're side to side with Alex and we're kind of battling closely. We keep our nose in a little bit here, but we don't send it on the inside. So this particular corner, Joey Dunlop was chaotic throughout the whole day. It was like driving on ice, and we have another bit of contact there, but we're following through. Alex is chasing down the leader and they make a mistake and go a bit wide. That gives us a good exit, and we put our nose up the inside, show them where we want to go and take the place. So now we're into second, just behind Alex. Taking that place though, we lose a bit of grip, lose a bit of traction and drop back as Alex takes a bit of momentum and straight line speed into that Conrad straight. Here we're just trying to keep up, but then we get sent on the corner at the bottom of the straight and we lose the position. We lose a lot of momentum, as I kind of noticed him diving in right at the end, but we take a really good line through the Joey Dunlop corner. Alex and P2 both run wide. We get back into P2 and we're right on Alex's tail again. We're following closely, we're trying to put pressure on him. He's giving us a look back to see where we are, so he knows we're there. He knows what our intentions are, and we're chasing him down, trying to get right on his bumper and put him under pressure. Again, we don't get Luna quite right, don't get the exit that we might want. Alex ahead gets a better straight line speed, but we're right alongside him. Being a little bit lighter and following in his slipstream gives us an advantage, and we go side by side into the bottom corner. We do the little bit of a switchback, we get alongside, we're trying to put him under pressure here, make him make mistakes, make him make a decision on where he's going to put his car. Again, we follow through, but we find the better grip, we find the better line. Alex goes a bit wide and that gives us the advantage, the run on the straight. And just as we cross the line, we just get our nose ahead. Not in an ideal place, but we get the move done. And now it's all about trying to put a bit of gap, a bit of distance between us and the karts behind. I know that the guys behind are all good racers. They're all very competent, and we have to be at our absolute best to try and keep away from them, keep them under pressure. And ultimately what we're hoping for is that there's some battling going on behind us so that we can just get our head down, put in some good fast laps, build a bit of a gap. And that's what we're going to try and do. We get a bit of a run here. We're not under quite so much pressure. I'm not having to defend each of the corners. What I'm really trying to do now is take the best lines, get into the groove and just build a bit of a gap. Finally, seems like I've got that final corner nailed in this race, but wait for more on that in this and subsequent videos, because man, I did not have it. But at this point now in a race, it becomes a bit lonely, and if I'm honest, it's not my favourite place to be, right out front with lots of laps to go, because everybody has you to chase. Everybody can see the line that you're making and they can correct your mistakes before they get into corners. So really what I'm trying to do is just put a gap in, give myself some breathing room and hope that everybody else has to battle with one another. So just putting in the hard yards now really, and trying to be consistent. It was really tricky on this day. The weather conditions were fine. It was dry, but it had rained overnight, and this corner in particular was an absolute nightmare for everybody. I think it was a strange kind of grip level. It was almost like there was oil on the track or ice. The normal wet lines that you would take through that corner were not successful, nor were the dry lines, and it was a weird mix of trying to gauge it lap on lap. But we're kind of in a bit of a rhythm at the minute. We've not had to defend. You can't see, but I'm keeping an eye on progress and seeing who's behind me at certain points on the track, and at this point I felt like I had a decent gap. I wasn't under any crazy pressure. I know that the guys were in relatively close quarters, as they often are in these kind of sprint races, because there's not enough laps to put in massive gaps, and everybody is there or thereabouts in terms of pace and speed, certainly the guys that end up towards the top. So I know that I just have to be consistent. I have to try and race my own race and know that those guys are going to be coming for me, and I've just got to try and keep my distance, get out in front, and hope that that's enough throughout the race. Like I said, these conditions were a bit strange throughout the day, and sometimes there was grip, sometimes there wasn't. In odd places it was almost like a dry line, in others very much like a wet line, and there's certainly, as you can see, patches across the track where the track is lighter and darker, and obviously we're aiming for those lighter dry patches. But really I think we're doing a pretty good job. We're getting the corners in as we would like them, finding the right line, and at this point doing a pretty good job of keeping ourselves out in front, not making any mistakes, not putting ourselves in trouble, and just keeping an eye out, knowing that those guys are coming for us behind. But at this point, all looking good, all playing into how we kind of want to race. We're out in front, we're the masters of our own destiny at this point, and the kart was pretty good. I quite like this kart. I could throw the kart into corners. It was responsive, not too much sliding and slipping, but still a challenging track, still a challenging series of corners trying to find grip levels. And we're now heading towards the last couple of laps, and this is the tough laps normally, because people will put more pressure on you, but at this point not under too much pressure. But that said, we make one tiny mistake, hit that curb a bit, and we have to really save the kart. We almost lose it, we almost spin out, going that just touched too wide. And the problem with that though is it really sapped all of our momentum for those two corners, the big lunar corner where you want to be really spot on to get full speed down the Conrod straight, and we don't do that, we make that mistake. That is going to let everybody in behind us catch up, get us into their slipstream, and they're going to be following us. So under a bit more pressure and having made that mistake, I know there's guys behind me, and then I make one other slight mistake. I'm too wide here. Alex goes up the inside with a nice move, and now we're on the back foot again. We're having to chase, we're having to put him under pressure. He goes a little wide into one, and we just take the inside and manage to carry it through for the next couple of corners. You can't quite see, but Alex is right alongside here and putting us under a lot of pressure, so I'm just trying to be consistent and be quick. I don't quite get the run here. I lose a tiny bit of momentum, a bit of pace, and that doesn't set us up great for the straight. I go defensive early, I'm trying to take the inside, but as you can see, Alex with better momentum gets through and takes the corner. But we're right alongside, we're really close, battling, giving each other just enough space, but we're right alongside one another into the last corner. Alex has the advantage and holds the corner really well here. We're really close side by side. Alex goes a little bit wide but keeps his momentum. You can't see, but on the right hand side we've got Marcin challenging too, and we just get over the line in second. That was an absolutely intense finish to the race. We end up finishing P2 by a hair's breadth above Marcin, but that was a great race. Reverse grids always add some chaos on controversy, and this time it was our own undoing. But thanks for watching, and subscribe for the final race of the series.